I've been swimming in the bottom of the bottle, singing like a submarine, trying to forget the day you said you went over me. I've been swimming in the bottom of the bottle, singing like a submarine, trying to forget the day you said you went over me. I've been swimming in the bottom of the bottle, singing like a submarine, trying to forget the day.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we are going super deep, like a submarine.
Yeah, get ready to submerge.
Yeah, into this song called Submarine. And you know what's really cool about this one is we've got not just the finished lyrics, but we've actually got a rough mix of the artist like working through the song.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Talking and singing like...
It's like getting to peek behind the curtain, you know?
Exactly.
See how the sausage is made.
Yeah, you get to see the destination, but also like the journey, right?
Exactly. All the twists and turns.
Yeah, the little choices made along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the final lyrics, they hit you right away with this line. Swimming in the bottom of a bottle, sinking like a submarine. I mean, that's just like, boom, right there. What's your first impression when you hear that?
Well, right off the bat, you get that drowning your sorrows imagery. It's so classic.
Right.
But adding the submarine, that just takes it to another level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it. You're underwater. You're cut off. You can't come up for air.
It's like that pressure, too, right? Like being in one of those old diving bells.
Exactly.
You're just like under so much weight.
And that feeling of being trapped.
Yeah, and there's this part in the rough mix that I just love. The artist is singing and it goes, I think it sounded pretty good, but then like right after that, was I stepping on something? Like almost like self-doubt creeping in right there in the studio.
It's so cool how that line just pulls back the curtain on the creative process, you know? It's not all like inspiration and genius. It's also like tripping over chords and questioning yourself, you know?
Totally.
And I bet you've felt that in your own work, haven't you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like all the time, right?
That moment where you're like, wait, is this any good?
Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so relatable for like anyone listening, you know, we've all been there. But what's really interesting too is how some things change from like the rough mix to the final lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's this line about sneaking rooster wine, which is so specific, I could almost picture the label on the bottle.
Sneaking rooster wine, okay?
Yeah, but it disappears in the final version. Why do you think that is?
That's interesting. Well, rooster wine, maybe it's like a really local thing, you know, a reference that only some people would get.
Right.
Maybe they wanted to make the song feel more universal so it could speak to everyone. Or maybe it was just a little too jarring, like it took you out of that emotional flow of the song.
I could see that, yeah.
It's amazing how even small word choices can have such a big impact on the whole feel of a song.
So like, while those details might shift, the core story is like this summer romance, you know? You've got the shoreline, a third floor walk up, there's even a jukebox mentioned.
It's like snapshots of a memory almost.
Yeah, it's like mapping out a memory, right?
Yeah.
And there's also this really interesting play with time, you know? You get these moments, but they're all kind of viewed through the lens of loss.
Oh, yeah. Nostalgia is a powerful force, isn't it?
For sure.
Like, I'm curious, when you hear these lyrics, does it take you back to a particular place or a relationship or like...
It totally does, yeah.
It's amazing how music can do that.
Yeah. And what gets me, too, is how the lyrics just keep going back to the bottle, you know?
Right.
That feeling of being submerged.
It's that they can't escape it.
Yeah. Is the speaker trying to, like, escape the memory? Or are they kind of, like, drawn back to it?
That's where that submarine metaphor gets really complex.
Right.
It's not just seeking solace at the bottom of a bottle. It's the descent itself. Submarines are about exploration, but this one seems stuck, you know, maybe even deliberately sinking deeper.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's not just being underwater, it's actively going down.
Right.
And there's a line later on, you know, about trying to forget the day you said you were over me. And it gets repeated like over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And it really emphasizes that heartbreak that's just driving the whole song, you know?
That repetition, it mirrors the experience of grief, doesn't it? Like we get stuck on certain moments, replaying them over and over again.
Yeah.
And musically, the way the tempo slows down during those lines, it just like mimics that feeling of sinking deeper.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that. It's amazing how the music just like reinforces the lyrics, you know? You're not just hearing the story, you're feeling it.
Absolutely. And speaking of feeling it, The instrumentation choices play a huge role in establishing that melancholic mood, and we're going to dive deeper into those musical elements after a quick word from our sponsor. Stay with us. It's funny, right? We usually think of submarines, we think of exploration, like discovering new things.
Right.
But here it's like being submerged in memories and heartbreak.
Yeah, it's like the speakers on this journey, but instead of like new territory, it's like the wreckage of the past, you know?
And that wreckage is full of these really vivid details, like getting banned from the jukebox or climbing on the bar at closing time.
Yeah, and those details really make it feel real, don't they?
Absolutely. It's not just some vague sadness. It's like you can almost see these moments happening.
It's like you lose these shared experiences.
Exactly. And it makes you think, like, how much do our memories shape us?
That's a great point.
You know, how do they affect who we are, how we feel?
It's like even though those moments are gone, they're still so real in the speaker's mind.
And that's the power of music, right? It can transport us back to those moments.
Oh, yeah. Like
it makes us feel those emotions again, like they're happening right now.
You know, it reminds me of this song I used to listen to after my first heartbreak. It wasn't about submarines or anything, but it had that same kind of melancholic feel. And every time I heard it, it was like, bam, right back to that moment, all those raw emotions.
It's amazing how music can get so tied up with our own lives.
Yeah.
It's like a soundtrack to our experiences.
Totally. And in Submarine, you really feel that bittersweet nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, you cherish the good times, but they also make the loss feel even stronger.
It's that tension between the past and the present, between joy and sorrow.
Right.
That's what makes it so powerful.
It's like those memories are both a comfort and a curse. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that brings us back to the chorus, that line about trying to forget the day you said you were over me.
Such a powerful line. And the way it repeats.
It's like they're stuck in a loop.
Yeah. It just emphasizes how grief can be so cyclical.
You can't escape it.
Like you're trapped in that memory.
Yeah, and I think everyone can relate to that feeling.
Right.
We've all had those moments where we can't let go of something, someone from our past.
It's like those submarines pulling us under.
Right, exactly.
We all have those underwater worlds within us filled with good and bad.
Treasure and wreckage.
Yeah, and Submarine makes us explore those worlds.
To face those complex emotions.
But it doesn't give us any easy answers.
No, it's more about raising questions than providing solutions.
Right, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Exactly, and that's what I love about art. You know? It doesn't have to tie everything up perfectly. It can leave you wondering with that sense of mystery.
And that's where the rough mix is so cool, right? You get to see the process, the artist struggling with these emotions before everything is polished and perfect.
It reminds us that even the most finished art comes from a place of real human experience.
And that makes it so much more relatable, so much more powerful.
Absolutely. It's like we're given permission to embrace our own imperfections, our own submarines, so to speak.
It's funny how that submarine metaphor can mean so many different things.
It really can.
For you, it might be isolation. For someone else, it could be something totally different.
That's the beauty of art. It's open to interpretation.
Right.
It's all about how it makes you feel, what connections you make.
So as we come up from this deep dive into Submarine,
Resurfacing.
yeah, it leaves us wondering, how do the submarines in our own lives, how do they shape who we are?
That's a great question. And I think the answer is different for everyone.
And that's what makes it so fascinating. We've explored the metaphors, we've followed the story, we've felt the weight of those repeated lines, but in the end, the meaning of Submarine is up to you.
You get to decide.
That's where the real journey begins.
Man, we have really gone deep on this one, haven't we? From that rough mix, you know, hearing the artist like working it all out
Yeah, so we're...
to the final track and like really unpacking that whole submarine metaphor.
all those layers, isolation, the descent, the weight of those memories.
Yeah, and connecting it all back to like what we all feel, you know, loss, nostalgia, how music can just like take you back.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And, you know, even though we're like resurfacing now,
Back to the surface.
I feel like we're still carrying those buckos, you know, from the depths.
Oh yeah, it stays with you.
And that's what a song like this does, right? It hits everyone a little differently, but those core emotions, heartbreak, longing.
Those are universal. So if you're like intrigued by what we've talked about, like really go listen to the whole song, you know? Pay attention to the lyrics, the music, how it all comes together.
It's an experience.
It really is. And as you're listening, think about those submarines in your own life, you know?
What are those things that still have a hold on you?
The memories, the experiences, the good and the bad.
It all shapes who we are.
Exactly. And that's what this whole deep dive thing is about, right? It's not just about, like, picking apart a song.
It's about using art to understand ourselves better.
To explore those deeper waters.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Keep exploring, keep listening.
And keep diving deep into those stories because there are so many out there just waiting to be discovered.